Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It's cold outside, guys. My name's Trey, like you said, and I would like for you guys, if you have a Bible, to turn to Hebrews. We're going to be looking at chapter 12. Now, I just want to ask a question. This is going to be kind of a dumb question, given the nature of the school, but how many of you guys play sport? Almost everybody? So when I say things like training, practice, hard work, effort, these aren't strange terms to you. They're not new, right? You guys have heard these probably 1,000 different times. See, people like to show up for the hour, maybe 2 hours of the game. What people don't like to show up to is the hours, days, weeks, months of practice that go right before the game, correct? But really, that's the most important part. You can't just show up to a game after staying up, watching whatever TV show, everybody's got their show, eating Oreos, never picked up a weight in your life, and then show up to a big game and then decide, I got this, right? Now, with that in mind, we're going to look at the verse. This is Hebrews 12, verses 1 and 2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who initiates and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne. As Christians, we cannot give it our half effort. There is nothing worse to me on this world than wasted potential. Somebody who could have been great, but because they decided they didn't want to, they didn't give in the effort, they became something less than what they could be. For us as Christians, that's the same way. This race that he's talking about in Hebrews is the Christian walk. This is Christian faith. This is living a life that points to others who Jesus is and why he is somebody important. Jesus, we are looking at Good Friday. Good Friday's this Friday. This is where we take the time to remember the sacrifice God made for us. Jesus ran the race, even when everybody hated him. It cost him his life. But Jesus still ran the race, and because of him, we now have a way to salvation. We have a way to a relationship with God through him. So why then, if we say we're Christians, why do we decide to give it our half effort? These weights that it says slow us down, that's the sin in our life. Things like pride, anger, lust. You can lust after more than just sex. You can lust after fame. You can lust after possessions. These things slow us down, and they keep us from becoming everything that we can be through Christ. These not only hurt ourselves, they hurt others, and they hurt the impact that we can have in the world. When you go to a game, or if you're running a race, do you still wear the ankle weights? The vest with the weights on it? Are you carrying those heavy dumbbells on both sides? I forget the name of them. Kettlebells? Yeah. Kettlebells, there we go. I worked out once. No, you don't. You toss it aside and you run and you give it your all. These races need to be run with patience and endurance. You can't just go sprint, have no endurance, have no cardio, and all of a sudden be expected to win a race, get first place. You need to run with patience and endurance. You need to run without restrictions, without weights. I know some of you guys are here for class. Some of you guys may not even believe the things that I'm saying. If that's the case, I want you guys to honestly just take a look at the Bible, talk to a trusted friend about this, and see if this is a race worth running. But if you are a Christian, don't give it your half effort. This is too important. The thing about half effort, first of all, everybody can tell. And if even you're really good at faking it, you can tell. And nobody is impressed. Nobody is impressed by the guy who says, oh, I could have been a pro, but I thought unemployment was the route for me. See, I was thinking either medical doctor or living in my parents' basement, and I just kind of thought, you know, I could, the better impact is in my parents' basement. No one's impressed by that guy. So don't be that guy. Don't be the person who says they're a Christian, but still does all the things that a Christian wouldn't do. If you do those things, can you truly say your heart's been changed by Christ? If you say you're a Christian, yet you refuse to forgive others, are you running the race to your fullest? If you say you're a Christian, but the only time people see you as acting Christian is at church on Sundays, and outside you're doing all these things that people who are Christians would never do, can you truly say your heart's been changed by Christ? Run the race. It says in 1 Corinthians, this is Paul, run to win. Nobody runs for second prize. Run for first prize. Remember this. This is very important. If you take nothing else from this, remember that there is a way, and that way is through Jesus. And because of what Jesus did for us, we have a way to run the race, and we should not and cannot afford to give it our half effort. And with that in mind, I'm going to pray. This was probably very short. I'm going to pray. I don't know if we've got announcements coming up, and then you will be dismissed.